Okay, so welcome back, everyone. I'm really excited for this deep dive because we're looking into something kind of wild,
Mm.
possible huge layoffs at Amazon,
Yeah.
especially in management, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting, right? Like we were
It,
talking about maybe 14,000 managerial jobs
yeah.
possibly gone
Yeah.
by like early 2025,
Early 2025. That's right.
which is kind of crazy to think about.
It is a big
It's
number.
a big number. And the source for this is an article from the Financial Express,
Yeah.
and it was published just yesterday, March 18th, 2025.
Okay.
So it's really, really fresh. And I think it'd be really interesting to break this down. Like, what does this even mean? You know?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a significant number, right? 14,000.
Yeah.
We're talking about 13% of their entire management workforce,
Wow.
which means that Amazon is
Okay.
potentially looking at cost savings something like 210 crore to 360 crore, like annually.
Annually. Wow.
Huge.
That's a lot of money. But, I think even more interesting than just the numbers
Right.
is why is this happening?
Exactly. Like, what's the motivation here?
Yeah, the article mentions CEO Andy Jassy
Mm-hmm.
and his whole thing about wanting to streamline the company.
Yeah.
So is this just about like cutting costs, or is there something a little
Right.
more
So,
to it?
I mean, obviously cutting costs is always a big
Mm.
factor with these kinds of things, but
Yeah.
it seems like what Jesse's really trying to do is boost the ratio of individual contributors to managers, right? It's almost like, getting rid of some of that middle management
Yeah.
to make Amazon a little bit more agile, a little bit
Yeah.
faster,
Interesting.
right? Like, think about it. In today's world of e-commerce,
Hmm.
everything is moving so fast.
Right.
You got to be able to adapt and like respond to things
Totally.
really quickly. And I think what they're thinking is if we have a leaner structure,
Mm-hmm.
then we can react to those changes in the market
Mm.
way faster and get products out there way faster.
Makes sense.
So that's kind of, I think, what's happening.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But there's also this other element the article mentioned about AI
Yeah.
potentially playing a role in these cuts.
Right.
So is this hinting at,
Yeah.
AI taking over some of the tasks that managers used
Yeah.
to do?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. And honestly, it's not that far-fetched.
Right.
If you think about it, Amazon already uses a ton of AI in everything they do, right? Think about their warehouses, look at the automation there,
Yep.
the recommendation algorithms, the way they decide what products to show you, like
Yeah.
on their website, Alexa, obviously.
Right.
So it's not crazy to think that maybe they're developing AI tools that could do things like, analyze performance of
Mm.
employees or even like allocate projects,
Right.
things like that.
So is this the beginning of the end for managers? Like, are we all going to be reporting to robots soon?
Well, I don't know about all that, but
Okay.
I think it's definitely something to think about. Like, is this a trend that we're going to see other companies start to do as well? Replacing managers with AI, and what does that even mean for the people who are working in those management roles now? Like, what
Yeah.
happens to their jobs,
Exactly.
Like, I think it's an interesting thing to think about.
Yeah.
What are the implications of that,
Yeah.
right? Like, one possibility is that maybe, AI can handle all of those routine tasks.
Yeah.
And that frees up human managers to focus on stuff that really requires that human touch,
Oh.
like strategy and mentorship and making those really
Get it.
complex decisions.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just about finding that right balance between AI and human managers.
Okay, so it's not like the Terminator just taking over.
Not yet, at least.
Okay, good. Good to know. But we should also remember that Amazon hasn't officially said anything about these potential layoffs.
Absolutely.
Like, this is all just based on this report.
It's all speculation at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it raises some really important questions about the future of work. Like, regardless of whether or not these specific layoffs actually happen, AI is going to play a bigger and bigger role
Right.
in management.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the reality.
So then for like the average person out there,
Yeah.
what does this mean for them? Like, as AI and automation
Right.
become more common, what skills are going to be valuable?
Yeah. I think the key takeaway is that it's not about being afraid of the future. It's about adapting
Right.
to it,
Right.
right? Like, think about the things that AI can't do very well. Things like problem solving
Yeah.
and creativity and critical thinking.
Yeah.
Those are going to be the skills that are really valuable
Yeah.
in the future because those are the things that are really hard to automate.
Right.
So if you can develop those skills, you're going to be in a really good position.
Okay. So basically just like stay curious,
Mm,
Keep learning,
Exactly.
and we'll all figure it out.
We'll be fine.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Yeah, this was fun.
It's been really interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens,
Totally.
in the next few months.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, and
Definitely.
until next time.